Good afternoon. I'm Nick Sertivant. You're watching Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. Thank you for spending your afternoon with us. So over the course of the next 2.5 hours, we're going to take you through live interviews, live breaking news, developing stories, all that good jazz. Again, thank you for spending your Monday, rainy Monday, here with us on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. We have a busy show for you this afternoon, so let's get right into it. So our first story that we're following, we're talking about CIAA. So if you're a long-time Charlottean or maybe lived in the Carolinas for a good chunk of time, you know this. This was a huge deal for the area. I remember growing up and people made plans around CIAA, and then it left several years ago for Baltimore, Maryland. So we have our reporter here in studio, WCNC Charlotte's Miles Harris. He's in here tracking the latest with the CIAA tournament. And Miles, you're from Ohio, but you've heard about CIAA.
Oh, yeah. I feel like an outsider if I don't know anything about this tournament. It's kind of crazy. But you mentioned it. I mean, this thing had its impact here in Charlotte. It was here for 15 years, from 2006 to about 2019. It kind of got canceled in that 2020 year, so it didn't really happen in that regard, but they're trying to bring it back. Charlotte City Council is actually going to talk to discuss this bid that's going to be placed here next month. So it's going to be Charlotte City Council as well as the CRVA, which is the Visitors Authority, Charlotte Regional Visitors Authority, as far as placing that bid for next month. And so that bid would bring the tournament back, if successful, for 2027, 28, and 29. And so you mentioned it, you talked about it. I mean, it's more than just the basketball tournament. I mean, there is so much that comes with this event, and especially the benefits, money. A lot of money and a lot of tourists, though, as well. So been doing some digging on this, and I don't know if you even know this, but this generated almost over $43 million the last time it was here, as far as an economic impact, and over nearly 140,000 visitors, people to kind of come out and check this thing out. So the impact of this is huge, and you wonder, okay, that was back in 2019. Yeah. So if you bring it now in 2027, what's the impact going to look like in there? So that's kind of what we're looking at and trying to hear from City Council. We're actually going to talk to a City Council member later on today to kind of dive into what their thoughts are as far as bringing this tournament back, what it's going to take. They're not giving us all the details when it comes to the bidding just yet, but definitely an interesting thing too. You mentioned it though, as far as the impact. But we also just had a tournament very similar with the BCIC that was just here this past weekend as well. And we know the push behind that from City, and then we saw some familiar faces with that one too. The real MVP was here last week.
Wanda Durant was here, Wanda Durant.
And so just kind of getting an idea of what this can bring for Charlotte, what Charlotte can bring for the tournament is just definitely some of the things that we're looking into today with our story.
What do you think, or do you get the feel that the BCIC tournament was sort of a filler for city leaders? Let's see how this goes, and then let's bring back let's bid for CIAA. Let's see how this goes.
You'd have to think that way though too, especially with the timing of this tournament. I mean, interestingly enough, they're talking about the CIAA today after the past weekend of literally just having the BCIC. Yeah. And so there's a reason why they're bringing that, and they wanted the BCIC tournament in Charlotte. And so I think that might have been like a teaser, a feeler of just hey, how much can we impact-wise bring in? How many people are going to fill these seats? How much money is it going to bring? And so maybe that number may not be as big as the CIAA, but if we can get an idea of where we are before we place this bid next month, a lot of those, that makes sense to me if you're asking. And so I've been obviously tracking this for a little bit now too. And so I think there's a lot of excitement. I mean, you actually look at our city council members. I mean, we have a couple of city council members that are familiar with HBCUs going to those schools as well. And also the CIAA's headquarters are in Charlotte too. So there's still a lot of signs that point in that direction. It's just a matter of, hey, is the CIAA going to make that decision to bring it back? And if they do, what is the safety around it though too? Because there's a lot of wonders of what this tournament also brought to Charlotte as well. I mean, obviously there were some safety concerns around it when it was here as well.
Right. And the party scene and everything. There was a lot
because
of parties.
It's more than just basketball, right? It brings a lot of people in, and so you want to make sure that all those checks and balances are all done properly in the right way, and especially given the climate that Charlotte's in now. I mean, this city is a lot bigger than what it was back in 2019, right? I mean,
pre-COVID. I mean, we're talking about 6 years ago.
Yeah, right. And so, again, those are all interesting components. So it's going to be interesting to see, one, what the discussion will look like tonight with Charlotte City Council and kind of where they're at with it as a whole, but also just like getting more of an idea of what that bid's going to look like next month. They have until April 15th to make that bid to the CIAA to bring it back. And so it's in Baltimore right now, so it's going to be in Baltimore this year and next year, but it's going to be interesting to kind of also see what other cities are making a bid for this tournament as well.
And Baltimore, home of Morgan State, who's in the CIAA, just to connect the dots for everybody. One more question before I let you go, Miles. I know there's some nostalgia around the tournament. You know, I was kind of speaking to that nostalgia, but you know, Charlotte is a transient city. Do you get the sense, or have you talked to people here that sort of understand the impact CIAA had, or are they excited about the potential of it being back?
I feel like it's like a mixed bag, because I feel like there's some people that are familiar with what this tournament did when it was here before, but I think there's some people that are unfamiliar with it that are now kind of a little curious on like, hey, what does this bring?
Yeah.
And so again, it doesn't have to just be dollars, but if you bring the foot traffic in, and I think one of the biggest things with this tournament was it kind of put Charlotte on the map a little bit, though, too, right? And from a bunch of different cultures and backgrounds and everything, it really brought a lot of notoriety and just familiarity with this city. And who's to sit there and say that tournament didn't bring people to the Charlottes to live in now?
Yeah.
So I think you just got a mix of everything. And so, again, it's just going to be really interesting to kind of see where we are when it comes to this bid. We're not getting as much information as we would like.
Right. That's the frustrating part about reporting.
Like, we can't hear it. Let's get the pitch. No. We're not hearing any of that. But to know that Charlotte is making those efforts to bring it, I mean, we know more and more by the day, just some of the efforts in making Charlotte a bigger sports city.
Yeah.
This is one of the latest efforts with that. And so, you know, what's interesting as I'm reading through this, though, too, it's another thing that's a benefit for this tournament if Charlotte hosts it. You've not just got the Spectrum Center, but you get the Bojangles Coliseum as well. So it's a lot of attractions that can really help not just Charlotte, but help this tournament as well if these two can connect again. It's just a matter of if that ends up becoming official here later on.
Miles, I appreciate this sort of going down memory lane for me. Like my brain goes a million different ways thinking about CIAA tournament in the past. So yeah, we will see. And I know you have an interview coming up shortly, so I'm gonna let you go, Miles.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for
I'm
your
learning
time
from
here.
you with it though too, man. So it's like you said, that's the mixed bag right there. I don't know anything about it. You're familiar with it, so I think that's the hidden gem with this too. And so it'll be cool to kind of see how it goes. And I'm interested to hear from City Council on just how they feel about it too.
And you're going to be on at 4:30, right?
Yes.
4:30. So make sure to catch Miles' story at 4:30, and then it will be on our website, WCNC Charlotte, or WCNC.com, and the WCNC Charlotte mobile app, of course, with that story. So Miles, again, thank you for your time, man.
I appreciate talking with you guys. It's always fun. Yeah.
We'll have you back.
Hopefully, right? Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
All right, thanks, Miles. CIAA tournament, man. I'm just going down memory lane thinking about CIAA tournament. That's a huge deal for the city of Charlotte. Again, the bid is out there. Miles is following that story. You can catch him at 4:30.